Hi everyone, my name is Adriana Ros from ITTI Sports. Thanks for being here today. I have the pleasure to present two experts of the esports industry, Guillermo Amador from Hyper X and Juan Spiller from Isurusteam. So they are going to share with us their success story. And without further ado, please go ahead.
Well, thanks, Adriana, for the invitation. For me, it's a pleasure to be part, also to be part of a teacher of the master, and also to have this webinar with a person that I appreciate a lot, and we have a really strong relationship through these 10 years with Guillermo and HyperX. Nothing. It's a pleasure to be here, and also thanks Guy to be part of this, because I know for he is very important, and for HyperX to be part of the academic and keep pushing to develop more and be part of the educational part about what we love, that is gaming, esports, and streaming. So
Completely.
Guy, thanks.
Yeah. No, thank you, ITTI Sports, and of course Juan for inviting me to be here today. As Juan just said, we at HyperX are very, very, very excited to be helping the new generations to learn, to be able to play in the better of course I can say using our peripherals, of course I can say using our quality, blah blah blah, but what we intend to really intend and the most is to prepare new generations to learn the gaming as something that goes beyond just the play, but it's also the camaraderie, the working as a team, and developing all our features as human beings, as really good human beings. So a pleasure for me to be here, and a pleasure to be part of the ET Sports roster, to call it some way.
Thank you so much, both of you. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask you some questions, okay? So you can answer if you want, both of you, okay? So let's just start. The first question is, how did you first learn about esports and what got you into the industry?
Guy, you can start if you want.
No, I think you are the proper example.
uh, uh, oh, it's pretty strange. I have a really tough childhood, and I believe that video games were like my way to escape from that reality. I started playing video games since I was really young, since I think Game Boy, Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, till all the other all the consoles that the other generations came. I was all the time going to the arcades because it was like my refuge to create my own storytelling about life, and to be part of that, as the movie Ready Player One create and generate this storytelling, that you are this avatar and you can be whatever you want to be and create your story. So over the years, it's been my refuge. And then in 2018, I started a master of esports in Valencia. And then after that master, I started working in one of the biggest events in Argentina, which is Argentina Game Show, which one of my partners, we have been working with my dad, creating events, and he gave me the opportunity to be there. And then after that, I met Kala, the owner of Isurus. And then we started talking about my project that I was going to do with my father, who he worked a lot in soccer. We wanted to develop, to be part of this new era of streamers, gaming, and also esports. And I started as sports director in Isurus, then I became the owner, and I started developing inside Isurus, knowing the esports ecosystem to be part of it. My first image was in 2017 when I went to see the finals between Isurus and KLG on the League of Legends tournament, playing the South in that moment. And I went to that arena and I saw that it was something amazing and it was the future. So then I crashed into Kala and destiny came that I'm here over these 3 years in esports. So that's my story.
So cool, so cool. Well, in that story, on those years that you were talking about, we met you. I met Kala before, and then I met you, and and it's really something that I have lived. How Isurus uh, became an esports organization, and let me explain a little bit about that for those that are listening and didn't understand the difference between a team and an esports organization. When we started, I mean, at HyperX, our strategy is based on the premise that we are all gamers. That's our slogan, and particularly we believe in relationships that are built over time. So we start, as a friendship. You start with inviting someone for a coffee, and then you invite this person to the movies, and then you continue growing that relationship. Is the same with us. When So it was, and so is our story with Isurus. It started with someone at HyperX, Ariel Plapnik, that is my boss now. uh he believed in Kala's talent and in what he was doing at the time. He had an esports team with I if I don't remember, if I remember well, it was one game that they play, and that was it. And the company at the time supported them with the t-shirts and with some peripherals and blah blah blah. And we continue to believe in them, and we continue to see them grow and propose new things, and they grew to become what they are today, as I told you before, a sports organization that has that they produce, I mean, content. They have ideas. They even we were last week at AGS, Argentina Game Show in Argentina, and they built the two booths around us were built by them as an organization. So we were super proud of our boys, but also our brothers growing in something that we could support them, and we have been supporting them in many ways. I remember once that they were visiting here in California, and they were going to some kind
Drink
of
of Dallas.
workshop. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Drink of Dallas was when we
yeah, that
qualified
one.
to the Counter-Strike team. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, let's see how can we support you. They use our gaming room to train, and we reserve that as it was some meetings we were having there, and it's always, we always find a way. They always find a way. It's like friendships and good things that always find a way to go forward, and now it's amazing that they can give anyone lessons on how to manage digital esports campaign. They can tell us what project management and operation management are like in such an organization, and how content is created, and even what the most recent trends on esports are. And it's not by chance, but they been building this through the years, and we were super happy to be alongside with them, helping them, building them, because of course it's all their talent and their ideas there. So our story, my story on esports, it's has been always very near of what Isurus has been doing. I started on HyperX. I started when HyperX was part of Kingston. Now it's part of HP. Oh, it's an HP company, and I started as a digital marketing manager. Then I always say that they upgraded me to to the marketing manager, and now I manage marketing for all the Latin American region. So and it's more work, but more fun, because it's something that we do. And I was talking yesterday to some people on my team, that we do this because we love what we do, and and we don't have much time to actually play. And it's something odd, but we love doing this. We love creating ideas for the gaming community. We love supporting the gaming community, and seeing things like Isurus happening around that, and on with our support.
So, what do you think is the key or the secret to of the success that you have had, both of you?
I believe that I believe something I am really great fan of Walt Disney, because I believe that I love also movies of Walt Disney and the story of behind what is Disney and his creator. I believe that Disney is what it is because there was a man who believed to create something in a moment that people needed, and that many people say was really crazy to do something like that in that moment, and that how one human being could create such a huge world. And then his CEO, one of the CEOs that I admire the most, that is Bob Iger, he always has this philosophy about the long term and how you. One of the principles he made in the one of the toughest moments in Disney was that uh, you always have to have the courage to be bold in life, to be bold and to keep growing and to keep finding new challenges. I believe that the success that make HyperX and Isurus in this long term was that we we were both bold enough to keep inventing and and not to keep being conformed on what we do, because Isurus has been really success during these years in the Isurusteam and winning one. It's one of the organizations that has won the most tournaments around Latin America and qualifying into international tournaments in a region that is really tough. But also Kala, when he started creating this, I didn't think that he created this because he wanted just to be a esports team. He wanted to create for him an ecosystem that could be for give opportunity to many people. And HyperX is shares the same values that we have, and they have been bold and to be with us this long term and to bet on the different things that we were creating. And one of the things that we were bold also during the pandemic is that to create different business of units, that we could also be an entertainment company, not only a esports team. That's why today we have a lot of units where we work together and we help uh, to keep that storytelling alive. And that's something that companies like HyperX value the most, because they are what they are, and they are one of the greatest company in the sector, and they're also expanding beyond esports and gaming, because they want to be part of the world, and they want to be that every single moment on your life you have HyperX is with you. When a player is playing video games, you have a peripheral of HyperX, because maybe you're having a tough moment and playing video games is a route out of your life, or you want to become a player, or you are you are working in an office, or you are being and you need to hear music and you're hearing HyperX. So HyperX is all the time there. So my point is, the success, I think, was that we all the time we knew what we need to do to be bold and to be uh, with HyperX and keep evolving at the same time. I think that something that principally to Kala, who is the owner, he all the time never settled up. He wanted to keep growing, to be involved, to create new things, to create new worlds. And that's something that HyperX wants to do all the time. So I think that the value the most is also the trust that we believe we build together. That just to answer the question is, we have been bold and we could keep pushing and to reinvent ourselves all the time.
Yeah, I think it's super important uh to, and it sounds romantic and bucolic, but you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to keep pushing, as you say. It's similar to regular sports. I always remember that the first sports movie that I saw, that was Rocky. Remember with Sylvester Stallone, that he loses, but in Rocky 2 he wins. That he keep pushing and pushing and pushing against everything. And you mentioned Walt Disney, that he has a one great quote that says, "If you can dream it, you can do it." And not by chance, the first client that HP, a company that began on a garage, and was the first, uh Silicon Valley founded, in a garage company. uh the first product that they sold it to Walt Disney. That what already was a medium-sized company, not what is now, but it was Walt Disney. And also the founders of Kingston started not in a garage, but in a kitchen, and doing the same, and believing in what in the ideas they have. All the great entrepreneurs and creators of our time, and people that works at offices, and teachers and students, uh, can go beyond because they believe in what they are doing, and also they always have someone that believes in them, and that's super important. And that's something that you could find on the academy, of course, on private companies, on a friend, on your family. Not everyone has is lucky enough to have it as near as on their family. I think here the two people that are talking right now had our family supporting us on this, and it makes me a little bit emotional talking about that. But we know that we are lucky enough to have had have received that. And also on our and sometimes in our working history, and now that people knows you and knows us in different stages, they support what we are doing because they already saw what we were doing. But all starts with you. All starts with you believing in what you're doing, and growing and growing. And let me just add, because I think we are very short on time. uh at HyperX, we know that, and when we support things like this, things like HyperX Academy, that is such as like a free professional preparation for people to understand what is gaming, but also things like how do I become a caster, or an sports professional. And I think it's a good start for things like ET, that completely what you saw, and just add that.
Thank you, guys. Last question, very quick question. I want you to give me like two advices for the future generation that want to get involved in this industry. So next steps that they need to follow. So two advices, each one of you, please.
Mr. Juan.
Uh, just very quick, I'm going to steal what Bob Iger sir says in his speech in Texas. As I also mentioned, be bold. Is something that don't. I think these new generations need to are really afraid of taking new risk, It's a new generation where everything thinks that they go really fast, and I think that this example that we have here, and we hope to share it more in deeply when we are in the master, is that long term is always the win. The long term to be bold, to be consistent on what you want to do. That's the two things. If you want to be successful in life, you can be successful one time, but to keep the success, you have to be constant. It's not about the knowledge. You need to have knowledge, and you have to have all the skills, but to be constant is going to be your better tool in the long run, and to be bold and to take risk.
Yeah, and I just have to add what Juan said and what I said before, that you have to and I think it was Steve Jobs that said that stay hungry, stay foolish. You have to keep on learning all the time. You don't stop learning. As in design, you don't stop this. When you design something, you don't stop it. You just abandon it. You have to know when to abandon the design. On the learning process, you never stop to learn. You should never stop wanting to learn and to grow, because it's never ending, and it always adds something beautiful and positive to you. So keep learning and stay hungry, stay foolish.
Thank you so much, Guillermo and Juan. So if the students have some question, I will share it with you, okay? And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, and thank you, Guy, again.